Hey there. So, I found this show on Netflix that I thought I would share with you. It is called Indian Matchmaking. It's about Indian people that want to be married, and some of them live in India, some live in the US. And there is this lady named, let me see, what was her name? Sima, I believe. Yeah, Sima. She is the matchmaker. She's been doing it for I don't know, years. I forgot how many years she said. And people hear about her through mostly she said through her goodwill and word of mouth. This is a new show that just came out on Netflix. I don't know when, but it says new. So I'm assuming pretty recent. And so I really like this show because I thought it was interesting to see another side of India that is not shown, especially in the US, on TV that often. All the people in the show are very well to do. And so the first episode, let's get into that, featured four-ish different people looking for marriage. I say four-ish because they kind of show a guy in the intro, but they don't go into his story at all. So I guess they just showed him as an example or something. I'm not really sure. But so the other people that they feature their stories in the first episode, and I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing these names wrong, but the first guy, the first one was a girl. Okay, before we get into the people looking to get married, just a little bit background on the show. The matchmaker says that marriage is a really big industry in India, and then she said a big fat industry. So I thought that was interesting. And she said there are two types of marriages in India. They call them just marriages and love marriages. So regular marriage is just like it was arranged. And then, of course, love marriage is the two people met and loved each other and decided to get married. Let's see. She said marriages are between two families, and most of these families have millions of dollars at stake. So, like I said, well-to-do families. So it's pretty interesting. All right, now let's get into the people looking for love. The first one is a stubborn Houston lawyer. She has very high standards, and the matchmaker says about her, it's like she wants to order a guy from a menu. She wants this, this, and this, and that's what she wants. She doesn't think she has any flaws she doesn't think she needs to grow. She's just like, I'm good as I am, and that's it. So, whoever marries me is just going to have to accept me as I am and put up with who I am as a person. Which I get to that to some degree, but I think we all have room to grow. So we'll see what happens with that. And then, let's see, her name. I look at my notes. Her name is Aparna. She's 34, and she was talking about how a lot of her friends are married, and she thinks it's strange. She finds it strange that they spend a lot of time with their husbands. She was like, I don't want to do that. She likes to travel. She said she's been to 40 countries. She wants to go to more. For the person she wants to marry, she said that person has to fit into her life. Now, another thing I found interesting about her is She had a whole room dedicated as her closet, and the matchmaker was like, oh my goodness, look at all these shoes. So yeah, she's really into clothes and fashion. But hey, if I was a lawyer and had money like that, I would probably be the same way. So I'm not judging, just thought it was interesting. All right, and then the second person was a guy. He was 30 years old. His name is, I really don't know how to say this. Let me try. Prada Human, something like that. His family has a jewelry business, and he likes to design high value jewelry, is what he said. He's a very creative person. He likes to cook. The matchmaker came over to their house, and he presented them with drinks that he had made up for them that had flowers in them. And then he like did this full course meal. It was kind of cool, actually. I thought, like, wow, this guy's good. Whatever I don't know if it was the final thing, but one of the things he brought out, they even had it lit, like flames coming as he brought them their plates. So that was kind of interesting. He's very picky. He's not really sure if he wants to get married. Like, the whole family was there talking about it, and the mother's like, he's 30, it's time, we really need him to get married. And the sister's like, yeah, I've been married 12 years, it's time for you, it's your turn. And he's just kind of like, I don't know. And they were saying how, like, he'll just see a picture of a girl, and the parents were like, sometimes he'll just look at a girl's picture and be like, no, I don't want to meet her. So it's very hard to please. So, and then they had another scene with him. They were showing him hanging out with his friends at like a restaurant. They were all drinking and stuff, and was like all married couples, and I think he was the only single guy. And one of the wives of his friends was like, yeah, my life would really improve if this guy got married because he keeps on wanting my husband to hang out so much. So I thought that was kind of interesting. His family said they've had like over 150 offers in a year. All right, so I had to finish this video with my laptop on a different day than when I started. But let's finish up talking about party men. So, like I said, he said he's met like 5 or 6 girls, and just none of them were right for him. So he has really high expectations. He's going too much by the photos. He's just really picky. And one other interesting thing about him, I was like, wow, he's got the life. Wow. He's got this like huge walk-in closet, and it's a fingerprint to unlock it, and it's just like full of stuff like clothes and shoes. And the matchmaker's like, if you get married, where's your wife gonna put her stuff? He was like, hey, I'll make room for her. So yeah, so that pretty much sums up Party Man. He's just really picky and doesn't really seem, I think he feels really pressured by his family that, okay, I'm 30, I should get married now. Okay, so then the third girl, her name is Nadia. She was my favorite so far. She lives in New Jersey. Her ancestors are actually of Indian descent from like back in the 1850s, but she is actually Guyanese. So I didn't See, I'm learning from this show. I didn't even really know anything about Guyanese people. So apparently Great Britain colonized this country in South America and shipped Indian people over there. So then eventually her ancestors from I think I'm saying it right, Guyana, immigrated to the U.S. So that's her background. And she's really adventurous. She's an event planner. She said she kind of envisions maybe someday getting married at the beach and just having a big party. She's kind of tall. She likes to do dancing classes. Bollywood dancing. So that's kind of fun. She just wants to meet a nice Indian guy. And she was kind of worried that they might not accept her heritage, and not really consider her Indian, even though, like I explained. Another thing I learned is in this matchmaking process, they rely 95% on horoscopes for the match. So we'll get into that, I think, in the next episode. So, then Sima, the matchmaker, she got into the proposals that she had for each of the people looking for love. And she starts out by showing them what she calls a bio data, which is just like a 1 page of information about the person that they could potentially match with. So she said that these are like one of the greatest tools of this whole matchmaking process. And she said the photo is most important. And so let's talk about Nadia's matches first, since we just were talking about her. She found 3 proposals of men that she thought would be a good match for Nadia. The first one was a guy named Vinay. He's in the finance business. He's CFO at a company. And then there was the second guy was named Rajanish, and he's a doctor. He was a little bit older than her, I think, but not like way far older, maybe like 5-6 years older. And I guess in his bio, Dad had mentioned that one of his interests is doing comedy improv sketches. So she seemed to really think that was cool. And then the third guy was Guru, and he was actually part Guyanese. So she was like, oh wow, that's so cool. Like, he'll totally know where I'm coming from. So you can only pick these people that are asking to be matched. They can only pick one person at a time to meet. So in her case, you can probably guess, she picked the guy that was half Guyanese. So so that was Guru. So they don't show them fully meeting in the first episode. But let's talk about Nadia's match. So Sima, the matchmaker, said since she is so picky that she was only going to give her one choice at a time. This was, I'm sorry, did I say? I forgot if I said the right name, but her name is Aparna, I think, the one from Texas. And so she got matched with this guy who was 41. He was an author. He had 3 books published, and he was currently the host of a podcast. So the mom looked over the biodata, the sister, they all seemed to think he was a good guy, and he was successful. They were impressed with that. So that was her first match. And then I don't think they actually got into the guy's first the guys' matches in the first episode. Yeah, so that was kind of where the episode ended. Was they talked about the initial matches, and then like the final scene is Nadia waiting to meet Guru. So Guru like walks up to her and says like, "Hey, how are you?" And that's the end of the show. So yeah. So that's the summary of the first episode. I know I was a little bit all over the place. This is my first attempt at doing a Netflix review. So I hope that hopefully I'm improving a little bit each time. So I'm looking forward to sharing with you about the second episode. Hope that this was a good video for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Leave me some comments, and I hope you subscribe. Thanks for watching.